Hi, it is Meredith. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Today I am doing another episode in my vlog series where I read hype books and see if I think they're worth the hype. Oh, hi Tilly. My cat's come to join us. No, she just wants to get under the blanket. So yeah, and disclaimer, it's just my opinion, so if I hate this book and you love it, that's fine. You're the superior person because you had a good time and I didn't. So yeah, for today's vlog, I'm going to be reading Fourth Wing, which is a really popular, beloved book at the moment. It's kind of blowing up. So I'm probably one of the only booktubers vlogging about this book that doesn't have the pretty special edition. I just have this shit paperback that I got for $12. Ew, why do I have like not like other girls energy? So this is, I don't even really know. It's a girl that's trained to be a dragon rider and it's a fight to the death school, I think. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm also hosting a read-along for this, so I'm excited to see everybody's thoughts. So let's see what I think. So today I am going to read to page 67. Let's start! Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yeah, but I'll neaten it up.
I know, but it's obvious we've pulled stuff out.
I just want to read this first, but you keep interrupting, so... So I have read to page 67, so I've read the first part of my little mini read-along for this. Many thoughts. I was crying laughing at page 20, so that was something. This is kind of what I said it was, but just to give it a little bit more detail in my synopsis of this, about this girl who's from a family where they were all dragon riders, but she doesn't really want to be one because she's too small and tiny. She wants to train at this like academy but to be a scribe, but her mother's like, you know, a cliche terrible mom, and she's like, no, you have to be a dragon rider even though you're gonna die. So she goes to this academy to train as a dragon rider, but a lot of people die, so it's not like necessarily a fight to the death, but it's sort of this school where like people can kill you. I think it said there's like 2 kingdoms and they're at war, and the dragons don't particularly like humans, but they want to help protect their land because they also live there, so they like work alongside humans, but they are kind of in control. And it's really cool that there's like this saying where it's like, if a human dragon rider dies, the dragon will just live on it, whereas if the dragon dies, the human dies. And so yeah, she is teensy and tiny, and so everyone's like, you're not going to be able to survive, but she's survived so far, and I think it said like 50% don't survive the first step. And so where I'm up to, she's kind of gotten into her like wing, which is she's in the 4th wing, of course, and so she started her training, and the head of her wing is this guy who hates her because their parents in the past were like involved in like this thing, and her father was murdered by his parent, I think. I'm clearly paying a lot of attention. So yeah, they kind of hate each other because of the history, and so he wants to kill her basically, apparently, not to be over the top or anything. And so that's obviously her love interest. Like there's a line with her sister's like, stay away from this guy. So I'm like, okay, so that is the eggplant that she is going to be writing throughout this book. She also has a childhood friend who I hate. He's bland, he's overbearing, he's annoying. She's clearly not going to ride that eggplant, so why are we wasting our time with him? It's kind of similar to Divergent and The Hunger Games because I've heard it compared to both, but I really do see the Divergent similarities in that it's like edgy and there's these people going to this place and like a lot of people die and the kids are all like cool, and like the chick has a romance with like the head of her part of the section, so like similar in this one. So I do see like the similarities. It's cliche and cringe at times. Well, the cliches are there the whole time, but the cringe does come and go. I did have a few cringe moments that I wanted to share with you. So when she meets the guy whose name is Xander Ryerson, when they meet, she doesn't know who he is, so she's describing what he looks like, and she's like, his eyes are the shade of gold flecked onyx. The contrast is startling, jaw-dropping even. Everything about him is. His features are so harsh that they look carved, and yet they're so astonishingly perfect, like an artist worked a lifetime sculpting him, and at least a year of that was spent on his mouth. And then it gets worse, because she then later on says, he's flamingly hot, scorching hot, gets you into trouble and you like it level of hot.
I taste shit.
And then she's like flirting out of nowhere with this like old childhood friend, and he's like, glad to see you a year apart hasn't dulled your tongue. And she's like, I can do quite a few things with my tongue, you'd be impressed. So like he's like really protective of her, and he's like trying to sneak her out to go study with the scribes. And she stands up for herself, which I really enjoy, because she's like, yes, I'm smaller than what's required. I'm probably not going to survive, but like it's really insulting basically to just be constantly telling me that I'm not going to survive and I'm going to try my best, so fuck you. So she like stands up for herself, which I appreciate, and she is like very much like, you know, stands up for herself even despite the odds, which I respect. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like some of the world building is written a little bit lazily, and so because of that I feel like I'm not taking everything in clearly, because I have no idea what's going on, but I'm also like not the smartest. Yeah, I'm having fun. Like I can see why people like it. It's got that kind of gripping fun like school setting, and I feel like the beginnings of these stories are always super fun because you're getting to know all the characters and seeing where the character fits in, and you know that like the odds are against them, so they're always really fun. But I find these kind of stories often like peter out towards the end of the story, so I'll be interested to see if this one continues, you know, going up, or if it does kind of die out. And yeah, it's been fun chatting with everyone in the Discord about this book. Hello. Hi. Why am I talking like that? Ugh. Just realized I really need to pee. So, you know, if I'm wriggling around in this clip, that's why. Anyway, thought I would update my reading. So I'm on page 264. So I'm like, I think I'm over halfway now. Yeah, I am. So that's pretty cool. This has been a wild ride for many reasons. Many reasons. I've gone from like not really loving this to liking it more. Like I don't know. It's fun, but I don't know if I like love it. I think that I can see why this is popular though, because it's very easy to read. It fits so many prompts and plot points and cliches that we've seen a million times that just people really do love. It's dragons, it's like this school where people are dying. Like there's so much in this that people really do love. Like it is the kind of book that you can just see popping off. I like a lot of the tropes that are in this and stuff. The romance, I'm a bit like on the fence about, because generally I don't enjoy these kind of romances where it's the big like alpha male and like the tiny little female, and like he's like very like strong and sexy. Like it's a very much like Sarah J Maas kind of book, especially with the romance, so like that's not my favorite. But I am actually enjoying it more than I thought I would. They've got a really fun dynamic. I don't really know like how to say it without spoilers, but they're kind of forced to work together and they kind of don't like each other. She definitely is more like hateful towards him. There's a lot of like miscommunication with them, and I feel like he's kind of trolling her, and it's kind of funny because he's like super serious and she's like really like a smart ass annoying brat, so it's like this funny like combination. So I'm kind of enjoying it. I don't know if I like love them together, but it's like fun to see them interact. So like I'm enjoying that. And I like her character because yeah, she's like in this situation where she's not expected to survive and everyone's telling her, but she's still like keeping like pride in herself and standing up for herself and trying her best. And of course she's a special snowflake, so she's going to be incredible. But I do like that she has pride in herself. I also like that she's like a smart ass, because I think that's like a little bit different from what we see. Like she is such a smart ass. Like she's so smart, and she was training to be a scribe, so she knows all these things that these people that were expected to be writers their whole life and haven't trained to be scribes don't know. So she's like a bit of a smartass in that regard, and I like that she kind of just like flaunts it. I don't know, I respect that about her. There's a lot of things that don't make sense with this book. Objectively, like, this book isn't very good, but like, it's still fun. So like, it's this school to build the military, and they are at war with this other group of people that ride the griffins, and so many people are dying at this school, and they kind of almost facilitate and encourage the death. Like, it's not part of the program, but like, if someone does something wrong, the dragons will murder them, and the dragons work with the humans. Like, they work together to protect their land. So it's just like, I feel like killing everyone off that wants to fight is not a good idea. Like, even if someone is weak, they are still useful because they're almost as buffers. Like, someone's got to get through them to get to the actual good people. So like, it's like they're there to die off in a way. But killing them off before the fight even happens, I feel like it's just like not good strategy. Like, it makes zero sense, but it is fun to read.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I live a very normal, boring life. So it's kind of just fun to see people like fuck up and just be burned to death by a dragon. You know, it's just funny. It's concerning that I find it funny. My main complaint is Dane. So he's a character in this book that gets a lot of page time, and his character, to me, this far through, brings nothing new to the story. Like, you could take him out and it would be the exact same story. Like, he has no actual bearing on the plot. He is her best friend, and he's like super protective, and he doesn't believe in her, and there's so many long drawn out scenes of them arguing because she's like, fuck you. And like, at the start it was fun. We've seen this a million times now, so it's like kind of gotten old, and she just doesn't take notice of what he says. Like, it doesn't have any bearing on her decision making. She just thinks he's a dick. I think he's meant to be there as like part of the love triangle, but he's such a dick right from the start. He's not part of love triangle. Like, there's just no way. It's like stupid. I don't know. He either needed to have been more likable and less obtuse so that people might want to root for him to actually be part of love triangle. So the fact he's not part of that, and he's not having any effect on her character, so it's like, what is the point of this? And it's really annoying, and I don't know why there's so much time spent on him when this book is already super long, and I feel like we're this far through and we're only just starting to get more time with her friends. Like, I feel like we need more time with that. I want to get to know the characters that die before they die. Like, most of the time they're just annoying and like, it's kind of comical and silly, but like, I don't know, like, there's so many things we could spend more time on. World, the dragons, even the romance with her and Xaden. Like, we could have more time with that, but instead we just have all these scenes with Dane, who is such a fuckhead. A lot of my complaints are just kind of like, yeah, this book's dumb. Like, it's dumb and lame and cliche, but like, I'm also having fun, so it doesn't like worry me too much, because that's the kind of reader I am. I'm just trash and I don't care. So hello, many things to say for this clip. Firstly, and most importantly, I'm actually wearing a different shirt, because every clip in this video I've been wearing the same jumper. So I'm just showing you that I do wear more than one piece of clothing. Secondly, we're in our new house. You'll get videos on that at some point, but yeah, we're in the new house. Yay! Thirdly, I don't know where my tripod is, so I'm recording this clip holding the camera, which I don't like to do because I'm lazy and the camera gets heavy eventually. And, you know, I'm not about that lifestyle. Fourth and last, I look like shit. I apologize. So I finished. So I'm settling on a 3.5, which I think is good. I didn't hate this. I didn't love this. I'm just kind of like in the middle, which I guess a 3.5 insinuates that. I think the first half was more enjoyable for me because it had more plot, and then I think it sort of started focusing more on the romance, which I just wasn't like vibing at all. I actually didn't mind either of the two characters in the romance. I just didn't like see it. It didn't work for me. I think it was very like insta-lovey. It was purely built on their attraction to each other. Like, they barely knew each other. Like, I don't know, have a moment to just like talk, because like, if they just were hooking up, like whatever, but the fact that they're like saying they're in love with each other, and it's like, do you even know anything about her? Like, other than what her tits look like? I don't know. I just didn't buy it at all. And I just found it lame and cringe. And I hated every scene they were in together, being romantic, basically. So yeah, the book kind of really started focusing on the romance a lot. And so I didn't really enjoy it as much towards the end. So like, I feel like it was kind of like more of a 4 at the start. The very start was a bit rough. And then like, it was really fun. But then once it started focusing more on like the politics, which like make no sense. So it was sort of just like, yeah, you know, maybe don't talk about that because you've kind of butchered that. So let's just focus back on the fun, like, campy school setting, okay? I had fun, but I also, like, didn't. I don't know how else to say it. Do I think this is worth the hype? This is one of those books where, like, I understand the hype, but I don't necessarily think it's worth it. But, like, sometimes it does frustrate me that these kind of books have such huge love and success when there are some incredible authors out there doing incredible stuff and they're not getting that. You know what I mean? And it's like, what did this bring? Really nothing. Like, we've read this book a million times. It didn't really bring anything new and fresh. It's just, you know, why is it always these books that get the huge amount of praise and love?
Dick. Cock. Dick. I like it.
I will say, I didn't know this when I was reading the book, but the author does have a disability. I don't know the name, so I'm just going to pop it here on the screen. And its own voice is rep, so her character has that disability as well. I didn't know that, but I do, like, see it now that I know that afterwards. So I do think that, like, that is nice that this does have that. But I do really like that knowing now. I kind of wish I could, like, reread it to see it more, but also, like, I don't want to reread this. I don't want to put myself through that again. I'm going to fuck off now. Thank you for joining. Let me know in the comments if you've read this, what your thoughts are. Are you going to read it? Are you going to hard pass? And if you liked the sound of my Discord, it is linked in the description. I'm hoping to do a buddy read like this every month. It's super chill. You can join if you want, but you don't have to. I'm thinking every month I'll read, like, a popular book and do a Worth the Hype vlog, and then we can also chat about it in the Discord. Because I had so much fun. Like, honestly, a lot of the people roasted the shit out of this book. But it was so much fun, and it's like, I don't know, it's such a fun way to chat with people, and I like buddy reads like this where it's not an official book club with, like, a live show or anything. It's just, like, chill, fun reading together. Definitely join if you would be interested in doing anything like this in the future. We also just, like, chat in there. It's just like a hangouts place, and it's been really fun. I will go now. Thank you so much for joining. Okay.